Hello everybody and welcome back to the JP on Comms YouTube channel. It's good to be back recording videos. Finally got a little bit of time off, so I thought what better to do than bring you an all you need to know video. Of course, we're going to be talking, as you can tell by the title, about the Stones' second latest permanent addition, Josh Shonibare. Of course, if you are watching this video at the time it is released, he would have already played a few games for Maidstone, a few of which I've been lucky to see his performances. He has already got a goal and an assist in a Maidstone shirt, so a pretty good start to life at the Stones for him. So what is there to know about Josh Shonibare? Well, he is 24 years of age. He predominantly features off the left wing, can also play on the right, and he has got a good amount of experience behind him. Not quite in a professional men's sense football just yet, but I suppose that's exactly what he's doing here now at Maidstone, isn't it? So at 24 years of age, he has played almost 60 games in Premier League 2 for Derby County. He has scored goals against Manchester City, Liverpool, Arsenal and Chelsea, all against their under-21s in his younger days. So he definitely has the ability to compete against some of the brightest stars in the younger ranking of English football. Looking back at his club career so far, of course I mentioned Derby County there, but the earliest club I can find him playing for was Greenwich Borough, and he was playing for them up until I do believe 2018, where he did end up featuring in some trials at a different academy and finally moving to Derby County. So he was at Derby County from the 18-19 season right up until the 22 season last year, and of course if you weren't aware, he did get a pretty lengthy injury in that time as well. I do believe he was released by Derby, recalled to help regain his fitness, and of course hone his ability a little bit further post-injury recovery. So he has played quite a few games for them, scored a few goals, got 9 goals and 3 assists in the Premier League 2 in 54 games, so that's not all that bad for, a player who is playing for a team which you wouldn't typically associate competing with the likes of Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool. Again, all teams he has scored against. So after leaving Derby County last year, he did go and play a few games in the National League South for Cheshunt. Cheshunt, of course, a team that did just get promoted last year up to the South. So, of course, struggling a little bit there, but he featured for a few minutes before, of course, moving to Maidstone this year. So, after leaving Derby as well, when trying to find his feet in English football, from what I can find online, there's a little blog online called Geist Blog, which follows Cologne, a team in the Bundesliga. He did have trials there for one of their academy sides as well. I think it was their under-23s team. So it does seem he has got a little bit of experience playing abroad as well. Of course, trial is a trial. I do believe he played against Chelsea, Chelsea development side, in which Cologne did actually lose the game 4-0. But, he's put himself about. He's definitely not afraid to go and experiment from what you can see there, of course. At Derby, at Cheshunt, dropping down, of course, from Derby to Cheshunt is quite a big drop. But, in search of first team football, it's good to see someone willing to take that risk to try and develop their career a little bit more. And of course, I think that's what we're seeing here with Maidstone as well. From what I can tell online, I did watch an interview from, I believe it's FFD TV. I'll link it down in the description below. But this seems to be the academy that Josh was at after he left Greenwich and before he went to Derby. I think this was the academy he was with when he got scouted. So watched an interview of him on there, again link it in the description, talking about the move to Derby, getting his first contract at a big club, of course, and what that meant for him, how he got there basically, and his little road to that. At 20 years old was when he got picked up by Derby, so a little bit later on to get picked up by an academy side. But again, just the way he speaks in that interview, something that really impressed me was his maturity. At 20 years of age, it's not often you see players getting picked up at 20 years old from, academies and things like that. But the way he spoke about being picked up, he's very thankful, very grateful for the position he was in. He understands that it takes a lot about, opportunity in life. Not everyone gets the same opportunities. He said in the interview, so some advice he'd give to other players in his position is that, sometimes your chance comes at 15 or 16, sometimes it comes at 25, 26. We've seen players like Jamie Vardy in the past didn't start playing football really until his mid-20s. So, he seems like he's got a very wise head on his shoulders for someone who's so young, still only 24 years of age. So, of course, if he was to stay at Maidstone for a few years, it's obviously going to benefit us in the long run, having someone with his maturity in the side. So, now on to finally a few of his key characteristics. What is it that on the pitch he's going to specifically contribute to this Maidstone side? Well, like I said already, he's got a very mature head. He seems very calculated in how he conducts himself. That, of course, is going to hopefully translate over to his gameplay. I think we've seen that already, and some of the runs he makes into the box, the decision making that he's shown so far is pretty good. But another thing as well, which is very easy to pick up on, is his speed. He's a very quick player, very pacey, especially down those flanks. Beating players on the dribble is something we all like to see, something this team does need, a little bit of an injection of pace since losing the likes of Christy Patterson. So, of course, very happy to have that down the wing as well. Very good trait he has there. But one more thing as well that I liked from some of the clips I did see, looked at a few of his highlights from his Derby County days, and I love the fact that he's able to get down the left flank more commonly and chop it back onto his right foot for a finish, a characteristic which Maidstone have at time lacked this season. We do often find ourselves a little bit one-dimensional in how we attack. Of course, we've had Rory Deacon playing off the right most of the season, or Christy Patterson, and we've had either Rory Deacon, not too often, playing on the left, or Ryan Galvin playing on that left wing. And of course, Galvin playing on the left, very left-footed, Christy, Deacon playing on the right, both quite right-footed. So we've often just had to get down the line, get the ball in kind of tactic set up in games this season. But Josh here, of course, playing on the left, able to chop it back onto his right, cut inside, something we saw very similar with Luke last season. It's very, very beneficial at this level. Defenders can't always cope with it. Adds an extra dimension. You never know whether they're going to try and take you outside or whether they're going to cut in, try and go for a shot, or loop one towards the back post for a late runner. So, again, a very good trait to have, something which Maidstone have lacked at times this season. So, that is going to be all from me on Josh Shonibare. Just a quick little video to give you all you need to know, at least from what I can find, on one of the Stone's latest new additions to the side. So, of course, if you did like this video, do leave a like down below. Do subscribe to the channel. We're slowly creeping up in those numbers. Going to try and hit 150 as soon as possible, hopefully before the end of the season. And, of course, do stay tuned for some more all you need to know videos this week. There's going to be one coming on Mark Marshall after you see this one, and I'm sure there's going to be another little one or two in the next week or so coming up, because Maidstone are in need of some players. So for sure I'll be getting those out as soon as anybody is announced. Do stay tuned, and I'll catch you all in the next one.